This is Digital SAT Practice Test 8 Math, Module 2 Hard. I'll write that over here. It's Module 2 Hard. Question number 21. I will follow the steps to work an SAT math question. Two data sets of 23 integers each are summarized in the histogram shown for each of the histograms. The first interval represents the frequency of integers greater than or equal to 10 but less than 20. The second interval represents the frequency of integers greater than or equal to 20 but less than 30. I'm going to underline that point. You could highlight it when you're working the test. What is the smallest possible difference between the mean of data set A and the mean of data set B? The type of math this tests is mean. It's one of the measures of center, mean, which is the sum of the numbers divided by the number of numbers, and that equals the mean. And I'm going to look at the answer choices 0, 1, 10, 23, and it says it wants to know the smallest possible difference between the mean. So I make sure I know what it wants me to find. I can highlight that. And then I'm looking at these histograms. I see that this one, B, is just A shifted over. It just shifts it over. And let me start, I'm not quite sure, but I will start writing some things. The second interval represents greater than or equal to 20 but less than 30. So it's greater than or equal to, and then it's less than, so I'll put an open circle here to let myself know it doesn't go to the highest value. So I want the smallest possible difference between the mean. Smallest possible difference, whenever there's an ist, smallest, largest, look to the edges. What can I make these values at the edges in order to make the mean, the difference between the values, as small as possible, so the means will be small as possible? Well, this one goes from 20 to 30, this one goes to 10 to 20. The largest this one can be, and they have to be integers, is going to be 19. I'm going to as far to the right in that one as possible. Then I'm looking at the same bar, the bar that's 3 high on the left one, and I'm going to make it the lowest possible value. I'm going to the edges and getting them as close as possible. That's 20. This one can be highest, 29. This can be lowest, 30. They're only one apart. This can be highest, 39. This can be lowest, 40. This can be highest, 49. This can be lowest, 50. So the difference between, possible difference, there's all kinds of other numbers that these could be, other integers, but the smallest difference is just 1 in each case, a bunch of 1s. And so the means will be different by 1. For example, here's a data set, 12, 13. Here's a data set, 13, 14. The mean of this is 12 plus 13 is 25, divided by 2 is 12.5. Again, the difference between each value in these data sets is 1. 13 plus 14 is 27, divided by 2 is 13.5. Notice that the difference in the means is only 1. So the difference between each value, if I squeeze them together as close as I can get them to each other, is 1. The difference in the means is going to be 1. And it wants, what is the difference between the mean of data set A and the mean of data set B? Verify that I'm answering the question it asked. And on test day, make sure that I select 1, because sometimes my mouse can go over a value and I accidentally click on it, and I know the answer was 1, but I clicked on the wrong thing. So I always want to double check on that. But anyway, that's the answer to this question.